No. I may have to turn on some more light. There. There. Okay. Let me get that turned off. Okay. I just wanted to come and talk to you all today. Because there's a lot going on YouTube, and a lot of it has to do with missing children. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form true crime. Never have been, and that probably never will be. However, I do investigate the paranormal. I hope my picture is coming in good enough. I'm not here basically for looks. My hair is still pretty frizzy, wet from the shower. But anyway, let's talk about all of the disrespect when it comes to missing children and using things like spirit apps, phone apps. I'm very upset. There are real families going through the worst time of their life. And the last thing that they need is for someone to exploit their missing child. And if you've ever had a missing child, then you will understand where I'm coming from. And I have firsthand experience. My granddaughter went missing when she was a teenager. And I know what it's like to have a missing child. And for people to take advantage of a parent or parents of a missing child or loved ones of a missing child, that is so, so disrespectful. I know when my granddaughter went missing, I would have done anything to find answers. You know, when the phone rang, there was hope. And it is not a place that anyone wants to be. So when I see people using spirit boxes and phone apps, one particular, the Necrophonics phone app, and just to, in case you're not familiar with these phone apps, this.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
This is Necrophonics. Let me get it a little bit closer. All this is a phone app. Nothing more, nothing less. And I'm seeing people use these phone apps to exploit missing children. This is nothing more than something that you purchase from someone who created this particular app and other apps, just like this one, for entertainment purposes. And as a paranormal investigator, I have to come in and say something, because some people do use these in paranormal investigating, but they use them more for entertainment. They don't rely on them as fact. Now I'm going to turn this on, and I've got this little speaker here so you can hear it a little better. And this is nothing more than a phone app. Okay, we're going to hit start.
Hold on.
And now, these people are sitting there saying they're hearing all this stuff come through this app. And it's telling them all this information about a missing child. Number one, if this is a missing child, it's missing. The child is missing. So how are you getting answers through a spirit box phone app about a missing child? For heaven's sakes. It's nothing but mumble jumble. And if you put on a headset, you can maybe try to come up with some words. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. If these people that are using these apps and they're using them for clicks and views to exploit a missing child, and for nothing more than clicks and views, how could you? How could you? When my granddaughter was missing, I was beside myself. My family was beside themselves. Her mother was beside herself. You do not come on YouTube and display such disgracefulness to any family. It is disgraceful. It's harmful. I cannot just sit here and not say anything. These children are missing. They deserve respect. Their families deserve respect. If you want to help these missing children, and it's not just one individual child that's missing, there is thousands of children missing in the United States today. Right here in Ohio, as of May 2024, there were 17,400 missing children in Ohio alone. 17,400 missing children. If you want to be an advocate for a missing child, then please follow the facts. Please be respectful. Remember, these families, they don't need false information. They don't need someone coming out just to exploit their child and get clicks and views and grow their channel. That's not helping a missing child. We all should really stop and think, how are we helping? Are we doing the right thing? Are we being respectful? Are we thinking about the family and their loved ones whenever we come out to say anything about a missing child? And I know whenever my granddaughter went missing, it was easy to go through all these stages. First, it was shock, and then it was almost like the stages of mourning, if that makes any sense. You were angry, you were sad, You couldn't sleep. You you wanted to blame somebody, even yourself. You know, is there something I could have done that was different? These families are going through enough when there's a missing person, whether it be a child, whether it be an adult. These families are going through enough. And they do not need misinformation. They don't need false hope. I have faith in law enforcement. And I know that law enforcement is working very, very hard to find answers for each and every missing person. And sometimes it may take up to 20 years to find those answers. But I know that they are trying to find those answers, trying to bring all these missing adults, children, bring them all home. But whenever I see somebody come on and use a phone app, which basically is nothing more than a phone app, and they have a spirit box speaker and they have lights lit up, and then they put all this typing of, oh, it said this is what I heard, and this is what I heard, and this is what I heard. That is so disrespectful. Even as a paranormal investigator, I look for scientific answers. I look for facts. And if these people that are out here doing this and using these apps to grow their channels, to make money basically off of these missing persons, child or adult, either one, if they ever really had something paranormal happen to them, maybe they wouldn't be out here playing with apps and putting it on YouTube to be a fact, because it's not a fact. It is an app that was created for entertainment purposes only. Most of them you purchase for $10. A lot of them are using the necrophonics. And it is not anything more than a phone app that was purchased for entertainment purposes only. Now, as I had stated before, I was the grandmother of a missing child. So I know how these families feel. I know what they're going through. It is a time in their life. They do not need false hope. They don't need disrespectful attention being brought to their loved one that's missing, be it a child, be it an adult. I know I pray for all the missing because I have been through it. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one who has had a missing loved one, be it a child or be it an adult, a family member, a loved one. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's sitting back and shaking my head and saying, how can they do that? That is so disrespectful. I know when my granddaughter went missing, I wanted facts. I wanted to go look for my granddaughter. I wanted to have everyone looking for my granddaughter. And I'm sure these families want the same thing. They want their loved one found. So if you do want to advocate for someone that's missing, please be respectful. If there's facts there that are given by law enforcement, follow those facts. Advocate for them as if it was your own loved one. How would you want to be treated if it was your loved one that was missing? I don't want to stay on here very long, and I didn't even prepare for this, but it needs to stop. When is enough enough? I feel for everyone who has a loved one missing. And here we are going into the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And there is loved ones that are missing. There's going to be an empty chair. There's going to be heavy hearts. Stop and think about that, maybe for just a minute. Send a little love, especially right now, here going into the holidays. Send some love to these families, some prayers. Pray that they, for strength for them. Pray that they do find answers. Pray that their loved ones will be returned safely. And be respectful to one another. That's all I really need to say. I don't need to harp on it. I don't need to come in here and rant on it. But stop the disrespectful. It needs to stop. And to everyone out there who has a missing child, a missing loved one, I feel your pain. I understand your pain. I've been there. So I do understand. Thankfully, law enforcement followed facts, followed tips, and my grandchild was returned to me very safe. And then we began to work on what happened, why it happened, and what could we do to make sure that it didn't happen again. So my heart goes out to you, each and every one of you that is missing a loved one today. I pray for you, and I pray that your loved one will be brought home safe. And I'm hoping that if enough people stand together on this platform and speak out about how disrespectful it is to use spirit boxes and apps and all this false information and misinformation. When it comes to missing, we should respectfully advocate if you want to advocate for them. Your channel's going to grow faster if you respectfully advocate for these missing persons. I know that I'm just one little tiny channel. I'm not monetized, and I'm not even in true crime. But I do watch true crime. And because of the missing, I did basically go in and start monitoring some of this true crime. And some of the things I've seen has been so heartbreaking that I've had to just walk away. And sometimes I'll ask a simple question in someone's chat and say, what if this was you? What would you do if this was happening to you? How would you want to be treated? And many times I get blocked, I get called out. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just one person that's saying it's not right. And that we really should stop and think about what we're putting out there. And remember, these are real children and real adults that are missing. And these are real families that are going through the worst tragedy that they can imagine, the worst time. And yes, they need answers, but they also need to be treated with respect. Their missing loved one deserves to be treated with respect. I just hope that maybe people will stop and think about what they're doing. See that it is not right, that it is disrespectful. Because using spirit boxes and spirit apps, talking to a spirit when most of the time, in most of the cases, they hasn't been any proof of foul play. There hasn't been any proof that this person is no longer with us, that this person is a spirit, the air quotes. And if you stop and think about it, that is so wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I do know that there are people that do have gifts, and they do have real gifts, and they have helped law enforcement to solve many missing persons cases, many unsolved cases. So I'm not saying that there is not real people with real gifts and that they do use them for good. But I've seen too much. And I'm getting to the point where if I don't say something, I feel like it's just going to build up and build up and build up, and I'm just going to explode. So this is just a little old me, a little grandma, a little nobody. But I know what it feels like. I've been in their shoes to have a missing loved one. So I can put myself in their shoes. I can understand their pain. I can understand their anger. I can understand their frustration. I can understand them reaching out for hope. So my prayers are with you. I send you my love. And I send you understanding. And I send you respect. I will continue to have faith in law enforcement. I'll continue to whisper a prayer for each and every missing loved one, child, adult, whoever it may be. But I will not say that it's okay to disrespect someone, to exploit them for your own gain. Shame on you. Shame on you. Well, that's all I got to say. Other than, I hope that your loved ones are found safe and sound. I hope that your homes are filled with love, with strength, with understanding. And I'm going to go ahead and end my session. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you the next time.